We would like to bring the attention of the public to the issue of asset declaration. Asset declaration is a key requirement of our law, and it requires that all those within the three branches of government will declare the asset. And the law requires that once you assume office, within 30 days or thereof, you should declare your asset. Despite that law, there are individuals within the three branches of government that actually non-comply with the asset declaration regime that is being implemented by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission and being monitored by the Office of the Ombudsman. We find today that there are 29 representatives that are yet to declare the asset. Because of that failure to declare the asset, we are accordingly rating the Speaker of the House of Representatives to have those representatives suspended pending the declaration of the asset. And while they are suspended, their salary should be used for the public interest. We are hoping that the legislature will comply with the law because it's required that all public officials are to be in obedience to the law. At section 4.1 of the Code of Conduct means at all times public officials they are to abide by all laws, regulations, and norms of this country. Despite of that law, representative has failed to declare the asset as required by law. Hence, those representative names were currently submitted to the Speaker, and we expect the Speaker to comply by the ruling of the Office of the Ombudsman. Aside from members of the House of Representatives, there are senators that are yet to comply with the asset declaration. Like the representative, the Ombudsman have accordingly written the Senate pro tem to ensure that the 12 senators who are yet to declare the asset as at July 4th will be accordingly sanctioned by the college to have them suspended until their asset will be declared. Because it is the upper house of our country, we name senators that are yet to comply as at July 4th of the asset declaration. The Honorable Ellis Tyler of Bombing County, the Honorable Simeon Taylor of Cape Man, 3, the Honorable Boto Cannon of Babolo, 4, the Honorable Zoe Penn of Grand Gillette, 5, the Honorable Thomas Y. Nimland of Grand Gillette, the Honorable 6, the Honorable Wellington Smith of Riverside County, 7, the Honorable Creighton Duncan of Sounder County, 8, the Honorable Nominee Batikwa of Grand Crew, 9th, the Honorable Jean S. Banning, Maryland, 10th, the Honorable Side Joseph Moserado, 11, the Honorable Samuel Koga, Nima County, 12, the Honorable Bill Tuare, Riverside County. These senators are non-compliant with the asset declaration regime, and they have been accordingly recommended for suspension to the Honorable Pro Tem. In conformity with the law, we anticipate that the Pro Tem, along with senators that are in compliance, will comply with the Code of Conduct. Within the executive branch, despite of the moratorium provided by the President, that all those within the executive branch should declare the asset within the time frame, and those who fail, some were being sanctioned as at July 4th, there are 150 officials within the executive branch that are yet to comply with the asset declaration regime. The Office of the Ombudsman has accordingly communicated with the President to have those who are within the executive branch and are yet to comply with the asset declaration to accordingly comply in conformity with the President's directive and the law. That is, they should accordingly be suspended until the asset should be declared. The judiciary, as at July 4th, the judiciary has complied almost in total. Notwithstanding, there are four public officials within the judiciary that are yet to comply with the asset declaration regime. Those who are yet to comply within the judiciary are as follows. Her Honor Shannon G. Yo, Chief Justice, retired legally. His Honor Yusuf D. Kabad, Associate Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court. 3, Her Honor James Etta H. Wolokoli, Associate Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court, and Her Honor Shannon D. Clinton Johnson, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. These 4 justices that were just named have failed and have refused to comply with the asset declaration regime. The Office of the Ombudsman has accordingly written the Chief Justice, the Honorable Yamin Kwakwet Besit, to comply, to have these justices comply with the Code of Conduct by having these justices recommended for suspension pending the declaration of their asset, and they are accordingly fined for 1 month salary deduction for their willful disregard for the law. We would like to report to you a couple of investigations that are being conducted along with the monitoring report recently. In a matter involving Mr. Yankwet Joma, scientist at the Center for Agricultural Research Institute versus the management of CARI in the Code of Conduct violation complaint. The Honorable Yankwet has complained to the Office of the Ombudsman for the failure of the management of CARI to provide him tools as required under the Code of Conduct. CARI management failed to provide him tools to include computer, pen, and other equipment to enable him to perform his work as a scientist. Because of the failure of CARI management, the office adjudged CARI management in violation of the Code of Conduct for not providing tools to the Honorable Joma, while at the same time providing him monthly salary. CARI has been judged to provide the necessary tools based on his scope of work, as will be done to other scientists within 90 days. We are hoping that CARI is going to comply in conformity with Section 4.1 of the Code of Conduct and Section 18 of the Code of Conduct that requires government obligations that at all times government should ensure that public servants and employees of government will have the necessary tools in order to carry on their work. Notwithstanding that the Joma, who is a scientist, has worked in CARI for a protracted period of time, and he has yet to perform. The Office of Ombudsman does not take the argument of Joma that he will continuously not produce results because the government did not provide him tools. We're calling it Order Joman, to ensure that he provide an activity report for the work that he had done for the Liberian people, also within 90 days to his supervisor. And that once he has submitted that report to his supervisor, he's calling it, send a copy to the Office of Ombudsman. Failure for Joman to comply with this will lead the Ombudsman with no alternative but to recommend his dismissal from the public service. The Ombudsman advised all other government officials and employees of government that are similarly situated. You have got to be creative and innovative to ensure that once you are employed to a position, you have to be functional. Do not go up with the Joman theory that because I'm not provided computer or other tools, I will be unable to do my work. If you so feel strongly that in the absence of order that you cannot work, it is appropriate for you to resign. You cannot be receiving government resources while at the same time you are failing in order to perform the function of the office that you are actually being assigned to. So government officials, employer government, you have got to be innovative. Do not follow the ruling of Joman. And the ruling of Joman is going to be limited to only Joman. We are not going to accord that to additional public servant that will fail to work or to provide, to produce based on the function they are being appointed to, and then they continue to take government resources. In the future, such person will be adjudged to return the money because of failure to perform the public service for which the taxpayer have paid for. We like to report to you a matter of the National Port Authority, in which the Port Authority dismissed 3 of their employees without providing them due process. It is wrong at all times for any government agency to adjudge any employees wrong without providing them due process. That will be in violation of the code and the Civil Service Standing Order. We are calling it written the management of the National Port Authority to ensure that those 3 employees that were not given due process will be reinstated into their position because of a violation of their constitutional right and the rights under the Civil Service Standing Order and that of the Employee Handbook of the Free Port of Liberia. We are calling it requested the Honorable Duke, along with his lawyer, Councillor Gusit, to register at the Liberia Institute for Public Administration to do a course in public administration to enable them to effectively understand that the Free Port of Liberia is a government entity and that it needs to operate within the confines of the law. 3, so over the period, the Ombudsman have been investigating political participation. Political participation is a component of the Code of Conduct at Section 5. And over the period of 11 months, there have been intensive investigation ongoing at the Office of Ombudsman. We like to thank the Liberian people that provided support to the Office of Ombudsman. Of course, you know we will not name you because it's prohibited. We'd like to thank you for assisting the Ombudsman in carrying on that investigation. That investigation is concluded today, and these are the findings of that investigation. Before the investigation, Her Excellency, the Honorable Cyril Beslo Yantid was invited to answer to the question if she was a member of a political party or not. The Honorable Beslo Yantid appeared before the Office of Ombudsman and indicated that she has since resigned her position within her political party in order to work within the public interest. That was actually correlated with the party's information, and based on the information to us, we felt that was true. Notwithstanding, the Honorable Beslo personalized government service when she asked the Honorable Jetty Ama, who is a public servant, a public official, to represent her before the office of the ombudsman. Because she personalized government service, meaning Jetty could have been working at the time she actually told him to come and represent her. The Honorable Beslow is fined $500 to be paid within a general government revenue account at the central bank, or as will be directed by the Liberia Revenue Authority. Documents are being communicated to her, and that she will be requested to pay the fine upon receipt of the document within 72 hours.